I noticed her trembling before anyone else even glanced her way. Sweat rolled down her temples despite the still air, the July sun pressing down hard enough to cook the grass, and yet she wore those thick pink winter mittens glued to her tiny hands. They didn't match her summer dress. They didn't match the weather. They didn't match anything except fear. "I'm cold," she whispered. Her voice barely rose above the chatter and the clinking of beer bottles. Her father, my brother-in-law, Daniel, just laughed, too loudly, too quickly. "She's quirky. Always has been." But his smile was wrong. Stretched thin, tight at the edges, like it hurt to hold. His eyes dodged mine every time I tried to catch them. There was something underneath his voice, a tension he couldn't smother. When he walked toward the cooler for another beer, I followed my instincts instead of my conscience. My conscience would have told me to mind my business. My instinct had been whispering to me for months. I gently slid one mitten off her hand. Her fingers weren't there. Only bandaged stumps, fresh, shaky, covered with layers of gauze. My heart didn't race. It slowed. Like my body already knew this moment was coming. Like I'd been waiting for the truth to finally scream. Daniel hadn't always been a monster in my eyes. When my sister died young, he stepped into our grief with a soft voice and a baby on his hip. He married my sister, fathered my niece, Nora, and when she died, he slipped himself into our family like a shadow. Quiet. Polite. Almost too polite. He took control of everything that touched Nora's life. Her school, her routine, her doctor visits, her finances, her stories. Always claiming she was delicate, fragile, sensitive. And I believed him. God, I believed him because I wanted my sister's choice in a husband to mean something. But every year Nora grew smaller, quieter, more afraid. And every year Daniel grew more sure of himself, more controlling, more untouchable. 6 months before the barbecue, I saw the first sign I couldn't ignore, a bruise around Nora's wrist. Thin lines, tight, shaped like fingers. "What happened?" I asked. "I bumped a drawer," she said. "Too fast. Too neat. A lie packaged by an adult." Then one afternoon, Daniel asked me to grab his insurance papers from the truck. Inside the glove compartment was a folded hospital bill. A thermal burn injury. Severe. Not a drawer. Not an accident. A lie. My rage didn't explode. It compressed. Dense. Heavy. Cold. Like a star collapsing inward. From that day on, I didn't confront him. Confrontation warns weak men. Instead, I watched. I listened. I waited. 2 months later, Nora's teacher called me in a whisper, terrified to be overheard. "She hides her hands," she said. "She refuses to write. She says her dad gets angry when she messes up." That sealed it. The betrayal wasn't only Daniel's betrayal of my sister's memory. It wasn't even just his betrayal of a child. It was my betrayal, my silence, my hesitation, my willingness to believe he was merely overprotective. So I changed. I documented everything: photos, videos, recordings, screenshots, every bruise, every excuse, every bill. I consulted a child psychologist off the record. She taught me how to see what was hidden inside accidents. Then I reinvented myself. I became Daniel's friend, his helper, his ally. I praised his parenting, offered babysitting, bought Nora toys he always took away later. And while he basked in being admired, I slipped a GPS tracker under his truck seat, hid a camera inside the teddy bear I gifted Nora, and used his foolishly reused password to recover copies of every hospital invoice in his email. Revenge isn't anger. Revenge is architecture, geometry, angles, timing. By summer, I had a blueprint of his cruelty and a plan to bury him with it. The barbecue was the moment everything aligned. The missing fingers were the confirmation I didn't want but needed. He hadn't just hurt her. He'd mutilated her because she dropped things too often. His words were recorded on the teddy bear camera. His rage, his punishment, his justification. All of it. I walked to the cooler and stood beside him while he dug for another beer. His back was turned. "You hurt her," I said quietly. He froze. The The beer dripped down his knuckles. I didn't need him to answer. I already pressed upload. Every file, every video, every photo, every recording sent to the police, CPS, our entire family, and his boss. His phone buzzed first. Then mine. Then the entire patio came alive with vibrations, like a nest of angry hornets waking up all at once. His sister gasped. His mother dropped her plate. His friend stepped back like Daniel suddenly became radioactive. He spun toward me, all the color draining from his face. What did you do? I exposed you. He lunged for Nora, but she clung to me. For the first time ever, she chose someone else over him. Neighbors pulled out their phones. Voices rose. Someone yelled to call the police. The best part? I didn't raise my voice once. Revenge doesn't need volume. It needs precision. Police arrived within minutes. Daniel screamed my name like a threat, as if I ruined his life. But the officers didn't look at me. They didn't question me. They already knew everything because I made sure they did. He ended up face down in the grass, handcuffed, his cheek pressed against the same lawn where he'd been laughing an hour ago. It was an accident, he shouted as they shoved him into the cruiser. But Nora's tiny, bandaged hand tightened around mine. That was the only truth that mattered. Healing won't be quick, won't be simple. But she sleeps in my home now. No mittens, no fear, no secrets carved into her skin. And for the first time in years, she is safe.